And good evening, everybody. I'm Michael Filigera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 index for Tuesday, June 8th, 2021. Not a great deal to be adding. The market continues to fall in line basically with what current expectations are. This particular little bit of a protracted sideways move with the high that we saw yesterday, actually that was in Globex this morning, just it's kind of interesting because what it makes me believe is that this is 1, 2, and this is 3, and then we had a 4, and then this kind of very strange, what we're going to take at 5. And the reaction after it, even though on this hourly chart it looks pretty tame, it was a very, very quick rejection of that high at 36.75. And very quickly thereafter, it dropped pretty strongly. In fact, in the first one, the first hour after it dropped, where are my numbers? It dropped 17. It dropped $17, which for the S&P is a pretty steady, heavy drop. And then ultimately, it then swung down at the 11 o'clock hour Eastern, and it dropped to 21. Actually, again, another 19 points. No, sorry, 19. So pretty steep drops for the S&P. Now, on that particular one, you can see it turned into a big old bottoming tail, and the market just went zipping right back up to above or closer to 42.20. In fact, it was over 42.20. So what this portends to be is I'm going to figure that wave 1 of minute wave 5 is complete here. Strange as all this is, here. And then this big slop down is an A, a B, and a C. And it all fits right in there. And if that's the case, this launch is perfect because it's a launch into a third wave. And as I continue to talk about, third waves are a wonder in and of themselves because they're powerful in the direction of the trend that they're going, and this one happens to be up, but they'll just really zip, and they put a lot of points on real quick. And for the S&P, 19 points in a lickety split type of a fashion is impressive. That's pretty strong buying. It's 500 stocks. And it's pretty strong buying across the board. And then it kind of just zips back up. Now, couple of things. Maybe this was only A and this is B, and we're still going to get a C wave down, and that is going to bring us back down towards 4,200, which is an area we continue to look at. And if I'll throw up one more set of Fibonacci retracements, if indeed we're going to be putting, give it to me. We're going to add a drawing, and it's just coming. Going to do that. And we're going to run that up to this top. So you can see this little down plunge did get to the 0.382, and that's pretty typical for any corrective phase, a 2 or a 4. This one's is a wave 2. They tend to be that first one brings it down to 0.382, and then we get a B wave, and then we get a C wave, and that's the one that'll bring it down right there. And then we've got a double right back at the 4,200 level. So expectations would be that we're going to hold above 4,200 or just drift below it, maybe down to 41.92, but I would hope not, to be honest with you. But if we even take this one, 42.36, call it 37, it's going to be 30, let's call it 32. $32. $32 from here is 4,200 on the nose. So the most common relationship, if indeed that this caps B and we're going to do a C wave down, wave C is equal in length to wave A, and that's going to put it at 4,200 on the nose. So boom, and we've got a double Fibonacci level there. We've got 0.236 of the larger, and we've got, which would be support levels on the way down. It was resistance on the way up. But we've got 2, 3, 6, and 50% on this larger retracement. And this 2, 3, 6 comes from the up move. And yeah, this is all, and it's actually a extension. It's part of an extension higher, which is measuring this larger fifth wave. So 4,200 to downside. Upside, we continue to look for, finally, we got close. We got close in Globex. We got within $1.25 to getting to 42.38. Where essentially really just we were looking for this to actually maybe get itself up to 42.42. It did a good job. It did a good job. I really wanted to see a new high, as slight as it might be. Now we're going to have to wait, but that's okay. So this completed the first five-wave sequence up for the start of this minute fifth wave, which is going to complete a minor fifth wave, which is going to complete an intermediate fifth wave. So we've got a lot of fives coming to an end up here, and it's really going to happen at new highs. How high? That'll be the question. When the markets are being met, when even they get close to that high of a big slam dunk, in the whole larger scheme of things, it will only show up as a blip. But when you were trading it, it was like, wow, someone is selling. And it moved more quickly. And it was good trading, let me say. It was good trading. If you played it and you were looking for it, or you were trading what was in front of you, then you got the moves. And there were a little, interdispersed little rallies in there. So there were pullbacks that just set you up for the next launch down. So it was good trading. For tomorrow, my expectation, since they kind of run together, the S&P and the NASDAQ are now kind of running together. The S&P's got more stocks than the NASDAQ, but the bigger stocks seem to be in both Apple, Amazon, Google, Intel, Microsoft. So the S&P 500, if the NASDAQ's going to really rip lower, this will get stuck and follow. And I would suspect that the Dow would kind of come down too. But I'm looking for downside. I think 4,200, we've got a triple mark right there. We've got 4,201, 4,203, 4,200. And we really got a little bit room down to this 0.618 if it had to. So that's only $8 more. And upside continues. If indeed it doesn't come down, it needs to turn and fly. It needs to turn and fly and not look back. That would be the ticket. If wave 2 is complete here, and this is 1, and this is a little 2, it's got to fly. It's just got to go because it's a third of a third. And I'm looking new highs. So we'll trade what the market brings us tomorrow. Continue to use your moving averages to help you. Right now, they're dead butt sideways, and that's exactly what the market is doing, nothing. So breakouts should get these things lined back up to let us know where it wants to go and how it's going to get there. And the next update will be tomorrow on June 9th.